Hello everyone, and welcome to World Wrestling Federation Grudge Matches. I'm Lord Alfred Hayes, and as you can see, I'm standing here on the Thames Embankment, and behind me you can see Tower Bridge. Now I'm waiting for Sean Mooney, who as usual is late again, but if he doesn't turn up there...
I'll tell you, it's quite a run from over there. But
You've taken your time, as usual.
Well, you know, I've been doing some sightseeing, and I know that we're going to go to dinner tonight, which I'm really excited about, and I'm glad that we've got the opportunity to catch some action.
Just a moment, just a moment. Look at your dress, that's atrocious.
What do you mean? You told me we were going to dinner. I have a nice jacket here.
I told you we were going to the Savoy Hotel.
Yeah.
Influential people there. From Her Majesty's government, and just look at you. You look like a tramp.
You didn't tell me that all those dignitaries were going to be there. I mean, what if I button the jacket? I think that'll work.
I told you the Savoy Hotel. You take no notice. You don't listen to me.
Well, Your Lordship, why don't we take notice of all these great matches on the Grudge match tape? You know that it's going to feature a battle between The Undertaker and Ric Flair. That's going to be a great one. Also, an 8-man tag team battle will erupt when the Natural Disasters team up with High Energy, and together they take on Money Incorporated and the Beverly Brothers. And let's not forget that feature, At Work with Repo Man. It's all on this tape.
Well, that is really fantastic. This is going to be a great tape. I wish I could say the same for you.
You know, Your Lordship, I think you're developing a
You have no grace, you have no dignity, and you certainly have very bad taste.
We'll talk about it later. Let's get to this matchup right now featuring the Macho Man Randy Savage and Papa Shango.
Isn't there something you could do for yourself?
Well,
Make yourself look a little better?
I've got a tie here.
Oh, my word.
No, you should.
Look at him looking down. He's making sure that wherever he's put that is in a...
Oh, listen to this. They're going bananas here in Brandon. Macho Man Randy Savage makes his tremendous entrance here, and this capacity crowd is on its feet.
It certainly is. And do you notice any limping at all from Macho Man Gorilla?
None whatsoever. I'm looking for any kind of a telltale evidence of that injury sustained to the knee of the Macho Man that caused him to lose his title, but nothing is evident.
No, he certainly seems to be walking well and looking very well indeed. He's very alert, very heads up. This man, a tremendous champion, only recently lost that championship to the flamboyant one, Ric Flair, but he's enjoying great form, and he's got a lot of confidence for this match, which is a big, big test for him.
What a competitor and what a feature matchup. Won't have to wait long for the fireworks in this one. Macho Man realizing, I'm sure, that he cannot match strength and power with Papa Shango.
But he can certainly make him miss like that. Tremendous skills possessed by the Macho Man Randy Savage, and I'm sure we'll see them all come into play here against this huge man, Papa Shango, who did fill this place with an icy chill. However, that edge has been taken off because the Macho Man has warmed up the arena already by his very, very presence.
What a sucker move there by Shango as he faked out the Macho Man and then went to his throat immediately. Referee right in there to lay the countdown, forcing the break. Savage out of that corner, not the place to be. Now he's unloading. Left hand's going to the body. Maybe that's the weak spot on the big guy.
Wow, gosh.
Savage couldn't get him out of the corner.
No, a lot of tenacity showed by Shango in the corner there. He held on to that top rope and eventually clobbered Savage with a mighty clubbing right hand.
You know, I can't believe, Your Lordship, that Papa Shango is not looking to go to work on the leg of the Macho Man. If I were in there, that's what I'd be doing.
Well, you think he would give it a try at least, but I notice also that he's very, very quick, Savage, to move those legs away from Shango.
Well, there's another opportunity right there to present it itself. Maybe not too thick in the gray matter is Papa Shango.
Well, I don't know so much about that. I mean, this fellow has studied the occult. He's very, very well versed in all that. All those symbols all over his leotard there are occult voodoo symbols. He really is a master of that. And from what I've seen of him wrestling, he's a master of wrestling holds too. Never, never underestimate him.
Well over that 300-pound mark. A big force here in the World Wrestling Federation. A big test here for the Macho Man. First tremendous test, big test, since losing his title.
Yes, indeed it is. If he overcomes this, we'll be seeing Macho Man right back to the best condition that he can be in, wrestling-wise and mental-wise too. And I think he is there, you know, right up the top again.
Well, when a big guy like this has got a bear hug on you, you do whatever it takes to get out of there. It took a thumb to the eye that time. Who knows what it'll take next time? Big roundhouse right between the eyes of Randy Savage, who's in trouble.
And they are heavy, heavy shots being administered there by Shango. And look at his agility. He gets that right leg right up in the air.
Referee warning with no uncertain terms Papa Shango about the conditions going on in the corner. Look at this now. What is this?
A little chanting, maybe.
A little incantation there.
Yes, another curse being verbally administered there.
I suppose you believe in that stuff, Alfred.
Well, I'm half inclined to. I tell you something, I've watched what he's done. It's been nothing short of miraculous, if not to say horrible, too.
Elbow drop finds the mark right in the sternum. Well, after what I saw he did to the Ultimate Warrior and what I saw he did to a couple of youngsters on national television, sort of raised my expectations of just how big a part voodoo plays in this 20th century. Wow. Savage unable to move, trapped there.
He also worked some of that black magic on Gene Okerlund, our colleague.
Well, he needed it.
Did he really?
I would have liked to have seen him turn him into something else. Look at this, Shango. Second turnbuckle on the inside. Bombs away. Oh, no. Oh, up there way too long. Macho Man long gone. Might have been playing a little bit of possum.
He missed him by a mile just there. And look at Savage. Oh, so close indeed. Macho stepping up the pace of this match now.
Look at this, knee right in the middle of the back. The big guy out, down to the concrete. Savage already atop the top turnbuckle. Perhaps we'll see that patented double axe handle. Yes. Right on the cranium of the Voodoo Man.
And if that was a test for his knee, it certainly was a really acid test, and he seems to survive that because he's back into the ring extremely nimble, and look at the power!
Savage not content, once again to the outside, all the way up, perhaps this time for that patented elbow drop that we've seen so many guys put away with. He nailed him. Jack up another one. Holy mackerel.
Here is your winner, Macho Man,
The following contest is scheduled for one
He is
fall
known as
with a
terrific
10-minute time
Terry
limit.
Taylor.
Currently in the ring,
happen to think
from Vero Beach, Florida,
he should be
weighing
referred to as
237
terrible
pounds,
Terry Taylor.
Terrific.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Terry
Sean Mooney, along with Lord
Taylor.
Alfred Hayes. And would you agree with me in that respect, Your Lordship?
Well, if you meant he was terribly good, yes, I'd have to agree with you.
Here we
Yes.
go.
His opponent,
And I would say that this fellow is also a very accomplished wrestler.
Well, I will agree with you there. El Matador, Tito Santana.
You know, I always give everybody their due, and this fellow has been there, and he'll go back again. He's been right to the top of the ladder. He is enjoying excellent form at the moment, but against Terry Taylor, he may come unstuck.
Well, Lord Alfred Hayes, Tito Santana has been involved in a number of scraps over the years, and I don't think he's going to have any problem here against terrific Terry Taylor. But that has yet to be seen. in this exclusive grudge match for Coliseum Video. And I'm not quite sure the story or the bad feelings between these two superstars. You know how it all started, Your Lordship?
I don't think there's any bad feelings on the part of Terry Taylor. He just wants to put this fellow in his place. Matador has been showing off recently. Look at him now. That's provocation.
I happen to hear some of the comments terrific Terry Taylor was making concerning El Matador, and he's not very kind. So I really think there's some underlying things going on in this matchup.
Well, it's probably part of his strategy. You know, it's always a good thing to annoy your opponent so that he loses his temper, thereby loses his wrestling senses.
And in one of those comments by Terry Taylor, he was saying that El Matador could not outmaneuver a cow in bull ring. I thought that was rather nasty. And he didn't look like a cow right there. El Matador, some quick moves. Temperature is going up in this encounter. Terry Taylor pointing into the chest of Santana. And in return, it's a open hand right across the muff.
Yes, he certainly did. That was a stinging blow there by Matador, but Terry Taylor's equal to that task. That's not going to put him on his back for a count of 3.
Slides off into the ropes. Blocked by Taylor. Oh, with the side headlock. Breaks free. Arm drag. And another. Santana showing some excellent skill. And Taylor is going to step out and do a little thinking about this one, I think.
Yes, a little regrouping. They were 2 excellent moves there by the Matador. They were really nicely timed, a lot of power, a lot of expertise, but we've come to expect that over the years from El Matador. Terry Taylor just taken a little by surprise.
Santana showing a little more power with his version of the double wrist lock. Slides down with an arm bar. Taylor in a bit of trouble. Struggles back to his feet. Now looking for an opening. That wasn't the way to go.
Well, that was a blatant infraction of the rule, but however, it was very successful.
Wait. What do you mean, a blatant infraction of the rule?
Well, he was told to break the hold, and he didn't break the hold. He just dragged his opponent
Why did
inside.
Taylor go over the top rope there?
Because that was a nice maneuver. Get out of the way.
No way, Jose.
That's why the ropes are there, and that's what the rules are meant to protect wrestlers from unfair advantages.
Mm-hmm. I understand now completely.
However, at this point, it does seem that Santana's dictated the course of this match. His tempo is very, very good. His authority is very good.
Quick reverse by Santana. Backslide, and just cannot hold him. That has certainly sent a clear message to Taylor. He's going to have to stay on his feet throughout this encounter. And Santana takes control once again.
Yes, superb execution by Santana. He's looking extremely sharp today. Taylor possibly just a little slow in many of his moves. And that could be due to many reasons. He may not be feeling very well today. Sometimes you come into the ring and you're not just 100% fit.
But that was never the case when you were in the squared circle, right? You weren't
Well,
oh boy, forearm right to the center of Taylor's head, and he dropped like a sack of bricks there, but remains alert. Uses the leverage and then sends Santana right into the turnbuckle.
it looked like he went in teeth first too. That was a nice little trap, baited so superbly there by terrific Terry Taylor.
Drives the knee right into the chin of Santana, keeping up the pressure. And he seemed to recover quickly. Did you hear that? Said it was an accident.
Well, I'm inclined to smile somewhat at that.
Well, you didn't buy that. You're trying to
Yes, I am.
surprise him. Kick out there by Santana, but he's still hurt.
Quickly, the pendulum has swung in this match in the favor of Taylor. Taylor now pressing home an advantage, and that was an awfully close 3.
2. That's all it was.
Yes.
It wasn't 3.
It was 2. It was 2, yes. I'll go along with this referee's verdict.
It's an interesting version of the grapevine, Lord Alfred Hayes.
It
Never seen
is.
it applied to a superstar who was sitting down on the canvas.
No, that's a lazy man's grapevine. But nicely applied, though, by Taylor all the same.
And it seems to be having an effect on Santana. So obviously Taylor knew exactly what he was doing. And now goes to reverse chinlock. Taylor always thinking and really keeping up the pressure on Santana. So he certainly came to this matchup prepared.
It would appear, Sean, that Taylor, who went through a very stormy period there in the beginning, has recovered, and now he's beginning to look a lot better in this match. He's waged rather an intelligent attack over the last couple of minutes or so. If he can keep this up, he may surprise the wily veteran, El Matador.
Elbow to the midsection, Santana attempting to break free, but Taylor is all over him.
Our camera's there taking you right inside the ring for an incredibly close-up view of the pain on the face of El Matador and the determination on the face of terrific Terry Taylor. And the referee, as you can see, awfully close to those subjects in the ring.
You know, Lord Alfred Hayes, this grudge match began very simply. As you know, there are 2 separate locker rooms here. And somehow there was some mix-up. Tito Santana's bags ended up somehow in a locker that was being used by Terry Taylor. Shoving match ensued, and then the challenge was issued. Santana almost wraps it up there.
He is a wily wrestler. I said that a little while ago. He's awfully dangerous in those situations. You can never completely count him down and out. You were saying, Sean.
Well, I was just saying how simply the grudge match began between these two, but that's the way it is here in the World Wrestling Federation. Superstar cannot back down ever. He shows a sign of weakness then, and neither man in this case was about to do it. Both very strong-willed. I'm not quite sure who issued the challenge, but it's not long before we were informed this battle was going to take place.
Well, knowing how fiery, of course, El Matador is, I wouldn't mind betting it was he who did throw down the gauntlet. But, you know, talking about that in dressing rooms, there's also another factor that's involved there, and it's called loss of face.
Certainly. Other superstars were present, I'm sure.
Yes, they don't want to see...
If you back down,
Yes.
they figure that when they get you in the ring, you may back down from them. So, you're right. And I'm sure you were in a situation like that one time or another.
I certainly was. I know that loss of face can really hurt you.
Off the rope, Santana with a good shoulder block there. Drops Taylor. Misses, and then is sent over the second rope.
Now, I don't see why the referee is reprimanding him there. Why?
I would have to agree with you, Lord Alfred Hayes. He really did nothing wrong. Over with a sunset flip. Taylor cannot reach the rope for balance. Goes down. Will he stay? No. Count of 2. Forearm right across the face of Santana.
I think Taylor's the winner. That was a 1, 2, 3 count there.
Oh, that was awfully quick, Lord Alfred Hayes, for even 2. Please.
I may have miscounted that.
Santana drops the head. It's turned over, and Taylor moves in. Oh, that was close.
That was a little closer, definitely. Taylor now really pressing home his attack. But Matador, a very slippery fellow indeed, with a lot of resilience.
You know, in the past, Lord Alfred Hayes, we have seen grudges start between superstars. Oh, Terry Taylor makes a big mistake there. Didn't look to see Santana coming up with the legs, and really paid for it.
That was a tremendous error on the part of Taylor. He really did miscalculate the amount of consciousness that El Matador had.
Santana blocks these punches coming in, delivers 3 really sharp rights. There's a backdrop. Santana really getting the upper hand at this point. And upper fist and everything else he's throwing.
Yes, momentum means so much, and the momentum now is definitely with El Matador.
Taylor really taking a lot of abuse, but staying in there. Reverse atomic drop from way up. Another right. And now Santana calling for El Paseo de Muerte. Pass of death right to the back of the head of Terry Taylor. And wait a minute, there was no cover, Lord Alfred Hayes. Was perhaps a time limit. Let's get the official word on this encounter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired. And here is the referee's official decision. He rules this contest a draw.
It may be a draw, but it's not over yet.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for
Beverly
one
Brothers,
fall.
Bo and Blake on the way to the ring.
To the ring by their
No, your lordship,
manager,
they are an
the
interesting
Genius.
study
Weighing
in
a
tag team
combined weight of
competitors.
486
Needless to say, they've been
pounds.
together for a long
Here
time.
are Bo
I think
and
they were juvenile
Blake,
delinquents.
the
They could have been,
Brothers.
but I don't know. so
Well,
much about
the
that.
reason I bring that up is because obviously they must have broken the law. Well, I guess the Genius is going to have a few words here. I will elaborate after he gets done spouting whatever poetry he's thrown together.
Beverly have finally got some competition. The Big Boss Man and Virgil are a team. Although they may be strong and as bulls and equally intelligent, I have a plan to hurt their self-esteem.
He just gets better and better, doesn't he?
Oh, he does indeed. He improves the bard
Right.
of wrestling.
The reason I said they must have broken the law because the Big Boss Man, who you rarely see involved in tag team action, has recruited a deputy for this encounter. The very popular Virgil.
And his tag team partner.
Now, do you know what it is that Bo and Blake did to upset the former prison guard?
Well, he's easily upset, this fellow. It's easy to incur his wrath. Anybody annoys him for some reason or other. But I tell you what, he's very wise in selecting Virgil as his partner because the Beverly Brothers have proved themselves to be a most efficient team since they entered the ranks of the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Competition.
Well, whatever the reason, Big Boss Man is fired up. Did you hear him earlier today talking about the Beverlys?
Well, he was
He
boasting,
was-
yes.
It's even more than boasting. He was enraged. He didn't care who heard him.
No, he came in on fire. There was that particular element to him as he entered the ring, but he looks to have cooled down a little bit now, and that's a good job. He should do because the Beverlys are cold and calculating, and they can hurt you.
Well, for the Beverlys, it's Blake who's going to start it all off. Here's that way. And Virgil will mix it up.
The most improved wrestler of the 90s, Virgil. Shows a lot of skill inside the ring these days. He has tremendous physical ability, but
Boy.
he's now matching that with his wrestling ability also.
Takes 3 very hard shots from Blake. Ends up on his back.
Is that Bo or is that Blake?
That is Bo. Thank you very much, Your Lordship. You know how easily I'm confused.
Well, I have actually referred to them as blow and bait. So
Virgil comes back in a hurry. Atomic drop. And a clothesline. I think he's paid Bo back
what a
twofold.
poor drop kick, though.
And now it's Blake who makes a mistake of attempting to come in. And is quickly tossed over the second rope by another lethal clothesline.
A poor drop kick, but he certainly made more than amends with that superb clothesline. They cleaned house here. Both Beverlys on the outside, and the Genius trying to regroup his men, if that's possible.
Caution delivered to Virgil at the insistence of Bo. Virgil really can't believe that he was complaining.
wants to tag the Big Boss. Come on! He's still on fire, this fellow. What is it they did to make him so mad?
I'm not quite sure, but I think that Blake is going to soon find out.
Oh, he wants him to tag out.
There's the tag. In comes the former prison guard as Virgil checks out.
Beverly's full of confidence here. I like to see that in a wrestler.
Boss man, ready to go.
Off the ropes, guys, come on.
Really resembling any wrestling at this point.
This is a skirmish, though.
Looked like riot tactics.
I think so. I really do believe they're both testing each other out. And obviously, Big Boss Man pulling Blake's hair there.
Oh, boy. Did you see that? And Big Boss Man answers Blake with a flurry of blows, and now catches the Beverly brother in midair and then slams him to the canvas.
Well, it's not easy to leap from 6 feet 7 inches.
Bo off the top rope.
Wow.
Takes a shot right to the midsection, then gets the uppercut, and Big Boss Man willing to wrap things up here in a hurry.
It certainly looks that way. He came in on fire, and he's still sizzling. He's in there really throwing some tremendous haymakers. However, to their credit, Beverly brothers are still on their feet, although barely.
And the tag made. Virgil going to the rooftop. Slams down right across the arm of Blake, and he's really taken a lot of punishment in a very short period of time.
Yes. I was just going to say to you, Sean, what an intelligent tag that was by Boss Man, but it's proven, well, I don't know. Maybe it was right after all.
Don't ever count Virgil out. As Bo comes back in. I think I've got them straight now.
I think you have indeed. Now what's got to happen here is that they've got to regroup themselves, the Beverly brothers. They've taken a little thrashing here the last 2 or 3 minutes. It's still continuing though.
And Bo with a good sharp clothesline takes Virgil down once again, drops a leg right across the throat. And Virgil in a bit of trouble at this point, in very dangerous territory. Slammed into the boot of Blake as he comes back in.
And this is the Beverly's
Great way to come
forte.
in, right, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Absolutely.
When the other man is down.
Best time. That's the way to win matches. I was about to say that's their forte, teamwork. One of them softens up the opponent, the other one comes in to finish him off. I don't think this is going to last too long now. Virgil looking extremely weak and tired here. And a little bit more punishment for Virgil behind the referee's back. Beautifully done by the Beverlys.
Lord Alfred Hayes, when you see a singles competitor involved in tag team action, my first thought is that they would have the advantage as far as being better conditioned. So used to never really checking out of a matchup, but at the same time, what do they lose when it comes to tactics?
Well, yes, they do. That's it. Well, you named it. In fact, they do lose because their tactics aren't honed in for tag team wrestling. And, you know, it's strategy all the way with tag team wrestling. You've got to distract the referee, you've got to work behind his back, you've got to keep one man in the ring, cut the ring off. And Beverly brothers really do this superbly. I don't give much for their chances as single competitors, but they do work as a tag team.
Power slam. And Blake lays out Virgil. This could be it. The Big Boss Man would not stay on the sidelines, comes in and breaks it up. That may have saved the very popular Virgil.
Sure it did. Virgil
Couldn't
really
save him from that blow, though.
He's taking a clobbering there, Sean. I know Virgil's resilient, although he has lots of stamina, but my word, he's taken a pasting.
The Big Boss Man comes over, trying to help Virgil out. A few words of encouragement, but
He needs a little
can't
bit
imagine.
more.
Yes, I was going to say that really didn't do a whole lot for Virgil at this point.
Now that's a mistaken tactic. Now, there down goes Bo. Look at his face.
Didn't count on the hardness of Virgil's cranium there.
No, he certainly did.
And he seems to be more shaken up than Virgil at this point. where he is.
I'm not quite sure, but I tell you something, I bet you any money Virgil's not suffering from that headlock. It was the previous punishment he'd taken.
And Virgil makes it back to his corner, and the Big Boss Man has had a lot of time to rest up. Fists are flying. There's an elbow.
No wrestling from the Big Boss Man, but plenty of action.
Uppercut.
Oh, gosh!
And slammed right across the shoulder blades. Big Boss Man getting set to wrap this up, slides out. Now that was a questionable move by the Big Boss Man, and the referee not like what he saw, but considering some of the tactics we have seen from the Beverly Brothers, I think he's going to let it go, and here's a cover.
Well, I can only say that he's allowing this to continue without disqualifying the Boss Man because, as you so rightly said, some of the previous tactics of the Beverlys, and this is it, I'm sure.
Boom, right to the chin.
2.
And again, Bo slips in, and Virgil now gets involved. It's an all-out brawl. And the Genius. Sneaky tactic there. He's got the nightstick.
Well, Virgil's still in there, and the referee should stop this. Virgil should be disqualified. He's lost his senses completely.
But who do you penalize, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Well, obviously the team of the
Both
Boss Man
tag
and
teams
Virgil.
are in the ring. The Genius attempts to throw the nightstick to Bo, but the Big Boss Man shoves him out of the way. That's an interesting clothesline, and the Genius even takes a shot. Let's get the official word on this very crazy situation.
The team of the Big Boss Man and his partner, Virgil!
Well, I'm sure as a result of the Genius's interference, you saw him throw the nightstick into the ring. He, in effect, disqualified his duo of the Beverly Brothers, Bo and Blake. And Lord Alfred Hayes, this certainly was a great matchup between the Beverly Brothers and the combination of the Big Boss Man and Virgil. I would like to see these two tag teams meet again.
And what a clash that would be.
My word, Sean, we've only just kicked off these grudge matches, and already the excitement is absolutely astonishing. Isn't it remarkable? What are you doing?
Well, tell me, Alfred, this tie is going to make all the difference in the world. You wait. All those people at dinner tonight are going to be very impressed when they see me with this tie. Oh, no. Oh, well, that's
What
great.
have you done? You are so incompetent. Tie it up.
Well, I never actually learned how to do this. My wife usually does it for me.
Oh, talking of your lovely wife, is she with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's going to join us tonight for dinner. But last time I saw her, she was going to go out and do a little bit of shopping. She's going to some place called Fruitman and Macy's, I think it was.
I do believe you mean Fortnum and Masons.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Well, I hope you've given her a lot of money if she's going there.
No. I didn't want to spend the traveler's check, so I just gave her the credit cards.
The credit cards? Oh, excuse me. Well, I hope your finances are in good stead.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that, I mean you can get yourself into a lot of trouble. Talking about trouble, weren't you in a lot of trouble last time you were on honeymoon with your wife somewhere?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the brain having a camera follow us into our hotel room? How could I forget?
Yes. Do you know something, Sean? I'd rather like to see that.
No.
I wonder if we can
Alfred,
find that in the
I really
archives
don't
anywhere.
See that again. No.
Roll that
that's
piece
not what we're
with
going to do
me.
here. Don't give him the idea. Is that you, honey? What's going on? Hey, wait a minute. Who is that? It's okay, honey. What are you doing in here? Wait a minute. That's a primetime camera. Who put you guys up to this? Heenan! You're behind this. Yes, I know it's you. Not only have to put up, you interrupted me on primetime, I can't even have my own honeymoon. It's okay, honey, I'll take care of this. You guys, you get out of here. I've had it. That's it. Go on. Sweetheart, feeling any better? Still have that nasty headache? I got you some aspirin and some ibuprofen. You! I threw you guys out of here a week ago. Don't you have any decency? Wait a minute. Where's my wife?
You locked her in the closet? That's it. You son of a... You're gonna really get it.
Please excuse me, Sean. Please do. So mirth-quaking that, though. Did your wife finally get over that nasty little headache?
She's fine, Alfred. Can we please get back to the ring now?
Oh, yes. Well, now we're coming to our match of the month. And Sean has been shirking somewhat. I'm going to get him to introduce this.
Yeah, let's talk about the feature matchup. Shawn Michaels is getting set to defend the Intercontinental title against former champion Bob Backlund. Now, this is an exclusive Coliseum matchup. And, Your Lordship, I think I've got this tie all set, so...
That looks positively alarming. That is just absolutely awful. What have you done?
Here, wait a minute. I just button the jacket. Let's get to the action.
That is no good at all. That is absolutely no...
The following contest is scheduled for the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental
Well,
title.
we are getting set to experience World Wrestling Federation Championship
First,
action.
The challenger, making his way
Backlund,
toward the ring,
many refer to him as the
weighing
All-American
224 pounds,
boy.
unveiling from
I don't.
And at 43 years old, Lord Alfred
Here
Hayes
is
certainly would like to be referred to as that.
I don't refer to him as the All-American boy. It's not my idea of an All-American boy. I would like somebody who's a lot
Why
tougher.
not?
Somebody who's
Lord
a lot
Alfred
tougher,
Hayes.
with a lot more spine and backbone to them. This fellow doesn't have the killer instinct.
Incredible shape.
Now there's more like an All-American boy to me. Look at him. Absolutely superb. Comes in brimming with confidence. He knows he can achieve it.
I will not argue with the fact that he is very confident. I don't know if I go as far as to say he's an All-American boy. A dangerous individual. That is true.
I want you to look at Bob Backlund. Now tell me where you see in him the All-American boy. Is he a good-looking fellow?
You have to be good-looking to be an All-American boy.
Yes.
My idea of an All-American boy is a wholesome-looking individual, someone who's in fantastic physical condition, and who really believes in the American way and lives it.
Well,
And he doesn't, doesn't drink. Certainly doesn't smoke.
Well, that is a big recommendation. I rather like that. But look at him.
Eats right.
He doesn't have a California tan. Girls don't go bananas over him.
Well, your idea of an All-American boy and my idea of an All-American boy are two entirely different things. It's not the first time we've disagreed on this.
Oh, no, definitely not. It won't be the last by any means. I want you to keep an eye on Michaels as he defends his Intercontinental title. You tell me if there's anybody who executes his moves better than him.
He certainly is one of the most skilled superstars I have ever seen in the World Wrestling Federation. And no one can deny the fact that he deserves to wear the Intercontinental belt. Doesn't mean you have to like him.
Are you sure Backlund's only 42? Look at him
like
getting
he's
up
30.
slowly.
Well, maybe that's a little sign of age. But he seems to be a bit surprised by how quickly Michaels has assumed control of this battle. And I have to imagine that that cockiness on the part of Shawn Michaels has got to irritate an opponent.
Look at the ears.
Michaels at this point, really almost disappointed he's not getting. Oh,
Look
boy,
at him,
you're
he's
talking
taking
about an
time out.
insult.
He's made the corner into a hammock there. He's resting, taking the sunshine. Now, is that or is that not confidence in your ability?
Oh, boy. Shawn Michaels doesn't look as though, or doesn't believe he's going to get much competition here.
No, I don't think little Bobby is in for a very easy time here. This is going to be a long, long day for him.
Well, he answers back, and what do you call that, Lord Alfred Hayes?
Look.
Taking his time now, holds Michaels up, and then just tosses him across the ring. Now with an arm drag, or a backslide, rather, nearly gets a count of 3, and you talk about surprise, surprise. Shawn Michaels could have lost the Intercontinental belt right there, and he is outraged.
Well,
Got
I
a
must
little
say,
too nonchalant.
yes, I was
Hayes.
about to say that. Maybe he did throw a little caution to the wind there. Now that he knows exactly what he's in for, he'll soon remedy that situation.
Bob Backlund came prepared to capture the Intercontinental Championship. It is his goal, his sole goal here in the WWF to once again wear championship gold.
He's not going to do that
When he
today.
retained the title for a number of years, he's considered one of the greatest champions of all time.
Yes, I'll grant you that. He was indeed, but I don't think he's going to be lucky here today.
Of course, it was before Huxley's time.
Absolutely. He was certainly overshadowed by him, the same way that he's going to be overshadowed here today by Shawn Michaels, an incredible Intercontinental champion. We've had many of them who've said, I'm the greatest champion ever to hold that particular trophy, but I think that Michaels is justified in giving that opinion.
Lordship, you happen to know, are those the same boots that Bob Backlund wore as champion?
Yes, they're the same tights, the same knee pads.
You suppose that's for luck?
And the same haircut, too.
Well, I guess you stick with the good thing.
No, he's just a little bit tight with the money.
Oh, I see.
It's the same jacket he comes into the ring with, too. No, it may be what you say. It may be for luck. You might be quite right there. I don't want to cast aspersions upon him unnecessarily.
Very good. That's very wise of you, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Well, you'd only tell me.
Me? Please, I wouldn't do that.
Incidentally, how's your mother?
She's just fine, thank you.
I thought so. You still send her money every week?
Yes, I do.
What a nice girl.
No, wait a minute. Just because I send a few dollars out west, that means that I'm a mommy's boy?
Yes, indeed.
I think I'd rather talk about this match. Backlund, this is a reverse, and it is not outsmarted by that move by Shawn Michaels. Outsmarted, is that correct?
Yes,
Can
that's
you say
quite
that?
correct. Yes, you can say outsmarted. He certainly wasn't. And that was a very, very nice move, although I hate to say it, by Backlund.
Holding on to that full Nelson.
He is beginning to look a little more impressive as time goes by in this contest. No longer does Michaels completely dictate the tempo or where this bout is going to. Watch this move coming up now. I'm sure he's got something in mind.
Oh, yes, he certainly had a lot in mind, and still can't break free of Bob Backlund. What do you think Shawn Michaels is thinking at this point? That he drastically underestimated Bob Backlund?
I'm sure he is thinking that particular point over in his mind right now, because look at him.
I'm surprised that Shawn Michaels is using such desperation moves. He's usually much more disciplined than that, so obviously he's experiencing a lot of frustration.
No, I would say that he's discovered his wrestling skills maybe are a little off peak point today, and that he's resorting to some high-impact stuff. Very wise decision.
You always find a reason, don't you?
Naturally.
Well, Shawn Michaels beginning to break down Bob Backlund.
Look at the tears down Backlund's face there.
I think that was sweat.
Well, quickly, the
You
pendulum
think
has
the years
swung
have
again.
taken their toll now? Is what
I
you're
think
saying.
they have. That's exactly what I'm saying. He seems to be in trouble here.
Well, never before, and I think I can safely say there has never been a champion here in the WWF over the age of 40. You say that's true?
I would say definitely that's true. No doubt about that whatsoever. Which makes it all the more incredible to think that Backlund is absolutely so unique in challenging at his age.
Well, it'd certainly be a history-making goal for Bob Backlund, and that would certainly stand in the history books for years, I'm sure.
what is he, 46?
43. I told you that at the beginning of the matchup. You're not exactly fond of Bob Backlund.
No, he's okay. I don't mind him, quite honestly. He's quite ineffective. He doesn't have too much to say to anybody. His IQ is not terribly high, but I must say that his endeavor and his spirit is high. However, look at this now.
You know, you have the very interesting ability to be nice to someone in a very devious way.
Yes, I pride myself on that. I pride myself.
I mean, you just said that you know, you don't have any hard feelings towards Bob Backlund, but at the same time, he doesn't have much of an IQ. Now, in a backhanded way, you insulted the man.
Not really. I mean, I'm just telling the truth. I mean, I like you, Sean. You're a nice fellow at times.
See, there you go. You got the disclaimer in there. And Bob Backlund, a fighter, you have to agree with me there, Lord Alfred Hayes, as he deposits the Intercontinental Champion up on the turnbuckle.
Oh, what a shot.
And it looks as though Backlund is willing to go a little low with the tactics to match Shawn Michaels. Drop kick right to the chest.
Where is he getting his spirited energy from? It's quite remarkable, this fellow.
Vitamins and hard work,
I bet it is. There couldn't be anything else, I'm sure. He must be the envy of all 40-year-olds. Life begins at 40. Maybe championships begin at 40, too.
Double chicken wing there. Shawn Michaels lands hard. Here's a cover. Could we have a new Intercontinental Champion? No.
I'm surprised. I'm absolutely surprised. That was the most sloppiest cover I've ever seen. You think it was just a token?
Well, I think that Backlund realizes he's going to have to break Shawn Michaels down more than he has so far. Michaels sends Backlund over once again, and I would say that the All-American, Bob Backlund, is an inspiration to people over 40, showing that you can really accomplish anything.
What is this?
So Shawn Michaels has had enough.
No, he can't do that.
Well, if he just left, it would be a...
What is this?
A count-out, I guess, or a disqualification. But nonetheless, Lord Alfred Hayes, the Intercontinental belt would still be in the possession of Michaels, but Backlund says it's not over yet. And even though we've had a bell, he wants to continue the match.
I really failed to understand the reasoning there by Michaels. He had everything going his way. He completely overwhelmed Backlund.
Atomic drop. And this is Bob Backlund's version of a 3 count. And unofficially, we have a new Intercontinental Champion, according to Bob Backlund.
Most unofficial.
Here's your winner as a result of the count-out, Bob Backlund.
And that is exactly the way it is going to stand, the way we thought previously. We heard the bell, and that made it official. Bob Backlund is the winner of this match, but because Shawn Michaels was counted out, allowing Bob Backlund to collect the victory.
You see, Sean, there is an instance of his low IQ. He really thinks he's won the championship now, and he's taken about. He knows the rules as well as anybody, or does he?
Well,
look at it.
The referee explaining the situation, and Backlund showing a rare response of anger. You really don't see a whole lot of emotion out of Bob Backlund, but he is upset today.
All-American boy?
Well, it's nice to know that he can mix it up with the best of them here in the WWF. The singles ranks have certainly changed since Bob Backlund left, and he has gotten a quick education of what life is like in the WWF today.
Well, nevertheless, Michael's still the champion, and he's staggering up with that belt, but I'll have to agree in one thing with you, Sean. Backlund certainly is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. He may indeed become a champion at 40.
Welcome back to the Capitol Center here in Landover, Maryland. Gorilla Monsoon along with his lordship Alfred Hayes. We take a look at the sneak, the thief in the night, the Repo Man. You know, congratulations in order, Alfred.
Repo Man.
for those exclusive satellite hookups with Razor Ramon and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, there was certainly a lot of enlightenment coming from those two statements by both those men. But isn't the world of electronics a wonderful thing nowadays? How we can
It
link up?
certainly is. Oh, listen to this ovation for the former Intercontinental Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Here is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Boy, has he got a following.
He certainly has, and he's lost none of his luster, even though he's lost his Intercontinental title.
Well, he kept it in the family, though, Alfred.
Yes, you can say that for him, I suppose. You know, he's going to have a tough time here against Repo Man.
Repo Man, very unorthodox.
And this will give us a chance to see how Bret Hart is bearing up under the strain of not having that Intercontinental thing, or whether he's become a free spirit. Let's see whether the responsibility of not holding that belt has affected him.
Well, the Repo Man cannot and will not be able to match skills and abilities with a man who has excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart, but he has other devious things that he can do.
He certainly has. He's got some great tricks up his sleeve, and he brings them into play too. This man really is a master at the devious.
Obviously, when Repo Man was a youngster, he was a fan of Zorro, Alfred.
He could have been, yes, you're right.
He has a Zorro look-alike mask on there.
Well, that's to mask his expression, but he doesn't mask that too well because...
No, he doesn't. He's always laughing.
Yeah, he's laughing, and he's got something sneaky going on all the time. He certainly appears to know something we don't know anyway.
Oh, nice counter there by the Hitman. Repo Man always strikes me as being paranoid, Alfred. I don't know why, but I just get that feeling.
Well, he probably is. I mean, after all, everybody's always talking about him. He liked that too. Look, I gave a little dance there. He very seldom stands completely upright too. A little crouch. All of those moves make him very deceptive.
I guess he learned that by sneaking up on cars and
Yes.
TV sets and
Yes.
things that weren't nailed down.
And I suppose you have to keep your head low in case you're spotted.
Yeah, especially if you're repoing something that's not supposed to be repoed.
Do you think he's done that?
Oh, no question. Handful of hair buys him a little time there. Look out. Shoulder block and a beauty by the Hitman. Down quickly in front, Repo, but... Oh, backslide coming up. Can he get him? No. Was not driving with the legs. Uncharacteristic of the Hitman.
Yes, but some really sweet moves the Hitman is making now, and he's showing Repo that he can pin him anytime he wishes, even if he can't get him for the 3 count. You know, it's very demoralizing when you keep having your shoulders put down on the canvas. I know.
It certainly is.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Even if you can lift them up, it doesn't matter.
I didn't
It's
mean it.
embarrassing to have your shoulders put down.
What's he apologizing for, Alfred?
I don't know. He said he didn't mean it. Maybe he used some foul language or something. Or maybe it's something he's done in the past.
Referee on his case. Got caught right in the middle of that move. Sneaky, but not sneaky quick, Alfred.
Not anywhere quick enough to deceive Hart. Bret Hart is so quick himself. That's one of his main armaments, his quickness.
Well, if you had 12 or 13 in your family, you'd be quick too, or you wouldn't get any groceries.
All beating you to the table.
Understand from the Hitman himself that everything is back to normal in the family situation as far as the Harts are concerned. All fences have been mended, and there is serenity once more.
Yes, I'm so pleased about that because British Bulldog's wife, Diana, is Bret's sister, and she was torn between the two situations there. Her loyalties had to be divided, and yet now all that has been solved by Bret being such a gentleman about the whole affair. extending the olive branch to his brother-in-law was a very, very courageous thing to do, quite honestly.
No question. Showed a lot of class.
He did
Part of the
indeed.
Hitman.
Much dignity, a lot of class.
Question will always remain in my mind, had the tables been reversed, turned around, what would
You mean, what would the Bulldog, the British Bulldog, have done? Would he have been as gentlemanly as Hart?
Absolutely.
A lot of chivalry there by Hart, but I don't know if Davey Boy Smith is capable of that.
Well, we'll never know, will we?
We won't know that.
Of course, I'd like to see another meeting of those two somewhere down the road.
Do you think that either family could take that again? All that stress they had to cope with?
Well,
I think it would be a little unfair for either of those men to place them
understand
in such
that Stu
spot
Hart
again.
went down in the basement and Bruce went up in the attic, and neither one of them came out of there until the match was over.
Well, that could be so, because they certainly weren't at Wembley Stadium on that tremendous night of nights, that historic night. 80,000 plus people there. What a night that was. Electric. Absolutely incredible.
Feet in the ropes, referee will have to break this one. Hitman right now being the recipient here as Repo Man is starting to look low. Ooh, did he get that corner hard?
Stay hit, man.
Corner post moved about 3 inches.
No way.
Look at this now.
Hey, Rico.
Oh,
I need to go for those.
what a precarious situation to be in.
Now he's vulnerable. Highly vulnerable here for Repo Man. Ah, gosh.
Going to work on the quadriceps. That gastrocnemius is taking a beating too.
What is that, Gorilla?
Gastrocnemius is the longest muscle in the human body, Alfred. Starts up in the gluteus maximus area and goes down behind your quadriceps, behind your knee, and forms part of your calf.
Well, I know what the calf is.
Oh, just remember, it's the longest muscle in the body.
Okay.
If anyone ever asks you,
Right.
you'll have the answer. Whoa! Hitman are looking for an answer out there on the concrete to how to figure out the Repo Man who's sneaking. Look at this. I don't believe this guy.
I really do admire Repo Man because he has so many detractors, and yet he does so well. He really doesn't take any notice of them at all. He just sticks to the task in hand, and that is to beat his opponents the way he knows how to beat them.
Well, the Weasel, Bobby the Brain Heenan, really likes the Repo Man. I guess he thinks he can get a TV cheap or something.
I wouldn't think that. I'm sure he doesn't. That's illegal, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh. Nice side suplex delivered, but not enough to hold the Hitman down.
That was 3.
Complaining to the referee about a short count or lazy count.
Yes, I think he's wrong there, though. I don't think that was 3 at all. I think this referee was right on the spot there.
Wasn't even close.
No.
Nice block of this suplex attempt by the Hitman. Oh, and a snap one of his own. Came right down on that left hip. That'll take some of the starch out of him.
Yes, that was a nice suplex there by Hart. He twisted him in midair and brought him down on his hip. And he's trying to go...
Oh, inverted atomic drop delivered by the Hitman. And now a nice clothesline. Not going to get it. You're not going to beat a big guy like Repo Man with that kind of a cover.
He's got a lot of power, Repo Man. Bret Hart really pressing home his attack. He's had 3 excellent attempts to pin him, and this could be a 4th that could be victorious. Oh, gosh.
Shot that right arm out of there.
Wow, how close can you get, though?
Oh, look at that nice move. Over the back goes Repo, but Bret holds on to that top rope.
He's a little bit tired at the moment.
Small package. Oh, and the Hitman rolls it up with a nice counter small package and gets it. Whoa, what a win.
Man, Alfred, that was some battle with Bret Hart and Repo Man.
Was indeed.
That's beautiful.
Well, that's Westminster Abbey. We're in Parliament Square here, you know.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's lovely, isn't it?
This is really some take. You know what's coming up later? We're actually going to find out what it's like to go to work with Repo Man. Now, do they have any, you know, a repo man here in England? Does the
Yes,
same thing?
they do indeed. We'd call him a repossessor or perhaps even a bailiff.
Well, I can't imagine any individual enjoying his work more than Repo Man.
Well, I know he takes a lot of pleasure in that. Now, I'm going to take a lot of pleasure in introducing our fan favorite match. On second thoughts, I think you ought to do this.
Well, I know it's comes from a great distance, Melbourne, Australia.
Absolutely, that's our Antipodes, you know.
Is that near Melbourne?
Oh, you know nothing.
Well, anyway, Rodrigo Salada wanted to see an 8-man tag team battle, and we are about to see just that. The Natural Disasters are going to team up with High Energy. Together, they'll face Money Incorporated, the tag team champions, and the Beverly Brothers. Here we go. It's going to be a great one.
I saw that time.
The following 8-man tag team contest.
Lord Alfred Hayes, would you be offended if I told you I did not like that music? Is that unfair to say?
No, you're entitled to your opinion, stupid as it may be, but you are entitled to it.
Well, I don't know what it is. Could it have something to do with the company? The Beverly Brothers that go along with that music?
Well, I would imagine that you have been biased in that way, yes, because
Or
I know you
perhaps-
don't like the Beverly Brothers.
Well, I wouldn't come right out and say that. I just am not fond of their tactics they use in the ring. And I think that their manager, the Genius,
An
needs a little
8-man
work on his
tag is
poetry.
dangerous for everyone but me. That's why I'm the Genius with the Brothers Beverly. Now Jimmy Hart and IRS and $1 Million Man shall thwart the competition and incorporate my plan.
And what might that plan be, pray tell?
I would imagine a victory at all costs.
Led to the ring by their manager, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Well, this is indeed a grudge match, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Money Incorporated.
And it's also the fan favorite match, Sean.
Well, there's certainly that.
So we're getting 2 for the price of 1 here.
I understand that this one comes all the way from Melbourne, Australia.
Yes, the choice did come from our Antipodes.
I think the argument that started between these two duos was the fact that, well, it's very simple.
It's
money.
about time you tax cheats in Maine started paying your fair share.
Well, he certainly
And
knows
that
how to
message
make friends, doesn't he?
comes live from Kenny Bunkport.
Referring to the past residence of former President Bush.
Yes. Yes, indeed. I think he had a lot of business dealings with President Bush, informing on those who didn't pay their taxes. A very, very good American, shyster. Looking after our economic situation. The Rocket, he's a very good wrestler.
Yes, and so is his partner, the Birdman, Coco Beware. High Energy.
Tremendous combination, High Energy. It's only bad luck that's kept them from that championship.
Well, we rarely get the chance to see an 8-man tag team battle. This is going to be a tremendous match. Beverly Brothers teaming up with Money Incorporated to face the tag team champions. The Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon, along with High Energy, the Rocket and the Birdman.
A lot to prove in this match, Sean. Beverly Brothers, they want to prove that they're worthy contenders for the championship. Also Money Incorporated, they want to prove their legitimate shot as logical #1 contenders. And above all that, you got Coco and the Rocket, very speedy fellows, aptly named High Energy, but look what's happening already.
Looks like a street riot in this matchup already. Outside of the ring, the Beverlys and High Energy going at it. Inside, it's the Natural Disasters and Money Incorporated. Only 1,000 pounds just crushed IRS and the $1 Million Man. And if the Beverly Brothers are looking for a safe haven, they went to the wrong place.
They certainly did. Look at this. And already house has been cleaned of 4 of the competitors, leaving the Natural Disasters and the Beverlys in there, and another crash coming in. Look out!
And here comes the earthquake. Referee Joey Marella better get out of the way or he's going to get pancaked as well. As the Beverleys, Bo and Blake. One nearly crumpled, but High Energy is not about to let that happen. 2 monkey flips.
Wow, look at that.
Man.
Oh, gosh.
What a combination the Natural Disasters and High Energy are proving to be.
Well, they certainly look unbeatable at this point. They've got everybody up here on their feet. And Hart trying to get his men back into some semblance of shape again.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Lord Alfred Hayes, the basis for this grudge match, money. IRS and the $1 Million Man still seething over the fact they no longer have the gold. And you know, when you are not a champion, it certainly cuts down on your income. And I'm sure they've made some deal with the Beverleys to join them in this quest.
Was that an eagle I saw just then, Sean?
It was a parrot. That's Frankie. An eagle. That's Birdman's constant companion.
It looks like he doesn't feed it too well, though. A bit skinny.
Ted DiBiase one-on-one now with Owen Hart. Comes off the ropes and gets slammed in the chest by a drop kick.
The Rocket incredibly fast. Would you say he's about the fastest wrestler there is in the World Wrestling Federation, Sean?
I would agree with that, Lord Alfred Hayes, but I think he's got a lot of competition. How about his brother, Bret Hart, World Wrestling Federation champion?
And although this might sound not quite plausible, but you know, Typhoon is a very speedy fellow for his size.
Well, for his size, yes. Pound for pound, he does get around quite well, but nowhere near the blazing speed of the Rocket.
Nice move there by Bo Beverly. And now they're beginning to take the wind out the sails of High Energy and Disasters.
Koko B. Ware in the dangerous half of the ring, trying to get to his corner to make the tag. I think even Koko knows that he's being taken apart here. He needs some time to recover. But he's having a very difficult time reaching the corner.
Some spirited moves there by Blake, taking the initiative against Koko. Koko making a mistake, a very rare one for him.
Power slam, he had a chance to reach his partners and decided against it. That was not a wise move.
And that was a very good move by Beverly's. They certainly worked together as a team so well.
Oh.
Their tactic, that's the, you know, that's Koko's fault for wearing those stupid things around his shoulders. Mind you,
well,
those...
It's easy to say from a safe perch up here, Lord Alfred Hayes, and I say that with Frankie in mind.
I mean, those silly pants he wears, look at that. Sean, I can imagine you wearing them, but certainly not me.
Lord Alfred Hayes, perhaps he wears those because it allows him more freedom of movement.
Yes, he's
I don't know for sure. I have never discussed the matter with Koko B. Ware, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it.
There's certainly plenty of room for his kneecaps in those.
There was a change of combatants, but not a change of hold there. Ted DiBiase just slipped in and took up that grapevine, now using the leverage. And again, the Birdman cannot break free as Blake of the Beverleys checks in. So the only one who's getting weaker is the Birdman.
Yes, he's been in there a long time now, and he's faced 4 fresh opponents. They've all tagged in and out on him. He's got to try and escape if he thinks his team has any chance whatsoever. Wow, what power.
Referee Joey Marella getting involved in this matchup. And that move allowed Koko B. Ware to change things around a little bit. Still, he is cut off. $1 Million Man, very brave, and that got right in front of the Birdman, blocking his path to the corner. Here's a cover.
Well, I would say that out of all 4 men in the ring, here's the most polished professional wrestler I've ever seen. The $1 Million Man.
Puts his head down.
Whoa!
Koko Koko B. Ware probably used every ounce of energy he had to pull that off. And now trying to drag himself as Earthquake, Typhoon, and Owen Hart try and cheer him on. Can he make it? No.
Very slick move there by the $1 Million Man to tagging Bo Beverly, and he'll really take it to you. I'm sure they've got him now.
Beverly Brothers and Money Incorporated pretty much taking turns delivering punishment to Koko B. Ware. And he is really beginning to show the signs of the torture, of the punishment that has been inflicted by his opponents.
Well, he is a tough youngster, Koko B. Ware, but how much more can he take? They've clobbered him from pillar to post.
And they've each had plenty of time to rest up. Koko B. Ware has been in there for a long time now. He's got to reach his corner.
And when we talk about skillful wrestlers, the Shyster certainly is that. He's shown his worth over the years. He's a great, great wrestler. Tag made.
Tag was made, but it was not seen by the referee, and he's going to make Owen Hart get out again. And now that his back is turned, Lord Alfred Hayes, they can do whatever they want.
They certainly can. Great tactics here being shown by these two teams. Money Incorporated and Beverly Brothers. They've clobbered the living daylights out of Koko. What more do they have to do to pin this man?
Earthquake does not want to wait for a tag. He comes in and slams the $1 Million Man. And although many may believe that was justified, Earthquake could have gotten his team disqualified. Koko B. Ware really taking the abuse.
He is indeed in an alarm. Now's his chance to tag out, and instead of that, foolishly he goes for a clothesline himself. I don't know whether that's foolishness or what on his part, maybe greediness.
Well, you don't agree with his methods at this point?
Certainly not. He should have escaped. He wants glory for himself. That's no good. This is a team contest.
Now that was an official tag. And Typhoon has been standing on the apron watching the Beverlys and Money Incorporated take the Birdman apart, and it's time for payback. Clothesline, and another for Ted DiBiase. One for IRS, and then one for Blake. And now all 8 competitors in the ring. The only one who's not participating is the Birdman, Koko B. Ware. But that is certainly understandable, considering the punishment he took before. Referee has really lost control of this match, Lord Alfred Hayes.
He certainly has. All the other 3 partners of Koko B. Ware were standing on the outside, champing at the bit. Now they've been unleashed, and look what's happening. Oh, my
Splash. And you can feel the earth rumble.
Not an earthquake, surely.
Finds its mark. But still, Earthquake does not go for a cover. They're not done.
I can't believe that.
And
Why
now
would he not go for that cover?
They give Koko B. Ware the opportunity to collect the victory. And what a great tribute. After all the punishment the Birdman Koko B. Ware took, the team gives him the honor of making the cover.
What a good choice from Australia, Sean, for our fan favorite match. That certainly was a great, great match, and I was rather surprised at the energy of the comeback of those fellows. Look at them all done now. That's silly.
Well, they're doing a little celebrating, and I believe they certainly deserve to. This was some encounter. Money Incorporated teaming up with the Beverly Brothers to face High Energy and the Natural Disasters. Lord Alfred Hayes, they certainly proved to be quite a combination, a dangerous force. What a great match.
Hey, Rodrigo, great matchup. I love that 8-man tag team encounter. That was really something.
What do you think you're doing this time?
You know, Rodrigo lives in Australia, down under.
Oh, hysterical. You're killing me.
Anyway, you know, Your Lordship, you can request a match as well, and so can you. All you have to do is send a postcard to WWF Fan Favorites, care of Coliseum Video, 430 West 54th Street, New York, New York, 10019, USA.
Yes, and don't forget that USA is most important because, you know, America is across the pond.
It's a very big pond.
It is indeed a big... What are you doing with your hand?
I guess I better... well, I'm also getting set for our next match.
Oh, you are? Tell me about it.
Crush.
Oh,
Crush is going to step into the ring with the model Rick Martel.
Big...
Let's get
You're
to the action.
incorrigible. Absolutely incorrigible.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
What is he wearing today?
Weighing in at 230
What, he just parked the yacht out front?
Highly possible. The model.
I didn't know there was a boat dock nearby in Regina.
I don't think we're within a few thousand miles of any coastline here. It's probably in a big pond or a lake or something.
That's just the way he lounges around the house, maybe.
Well, he looks
I
rather...
didn't know he smoked a pipe
chic.
either. Does he have his own special blend, or is that just for show as well?
I think that's for show, yes. It's just to go with the outfit he's wearing. Models are inclined to do that.
Well, you really have to be one confident individual to go around wearing one of those hats, too.
Yes, I've never seen you wearing one.
Weighing in 315
And I don't think you ever will. Well, Crush receives a deafening welcome from this crowd.
Nice-looking fellow, Crush.
Yeah, Crush.
But those nice, sharply chiseled features might get a little bit of a hammering today.
You know what he does in his spare time, Lord Alfred Hayes? Being in town, he'll go to a nearby junkyard for a workout. Just move shells of cars around.
He
I'm
does.
sure whoever owns them appreciates the help.
I bet they do as well. I hope he's not as heavy-handed with them.
He claims he can't find enough weight in the gym.
I would say, judging by the sides of him, that's probably quite correct. Look at him. He's a huge man. How tall is he?
Well, he's near 6'7", Lord Alfred Hayes. And he weighs over the 300 mark. And he really is a powerful individual. You ever shake his hand?
No, I haven't. Quite honestly, I've only spoken to him on one occasion.
He probably wouldn't shake your hand.
Yes, he would. Why would he not?
Because you could be rather rude at times, and I'm sure he's heard some of the comments you've made about it.
I've only made the best comments about him.
Oh, really?
Yes. I said he's good looking. He's big. He's not much of a wrestler, that's all.
There you go.
Occasionally he does have some luck.
Well, Alfred Hayes, you know, you can't think by complimenting somebody with a couple of lines and then just slamming them, especially about something that's their livelihood. You don't think they're going to take offense to that?
I don't see why he should. He should be thick-skinned like Martel, the model.
Well, the model Rick Martel really took on a challenge in this matchup. Still wearing the smile on his face. We'll see how long that lasts. Got to stay clear of those powerful hands. Goes to a side headlock.
I think you're right, Sean. He's got to stay away from close physical contact with this huge man. He's doing that nicely now. A couple of drop kicks might soften him up.
Does a little cartwheel. Stays clear of Crush. I would say Crush was showing some impressive skill there. But you know that had to have frustrated him a bit. It's all set up there, and the model just slipped out of the way, and again. But after a while, Lord Alfred Hayes, you have to imagine that Crush would catch on, and he certainly goes after Martel there. Two real snaps to those clotheslines. Like it did some damage. Martel slips out.
Well, living up to his name, two crushing blows there by Crush. And Martel, who's giving away 60 pounds, he's got to beware of that type of thing. Oh, my word! Now where's the referee?
That's getting a bit out of control. Martel came in a little too confident, Lord Alfred Hayes. Perhaps he underestimated Crush slightly, and he's really paying for it right now.
Indeed he is. Crush now waging a much better plan of warfare against this fellow, the model.
Got the double wrist lock on. Gets Martel right off his feet. He really is incredible, Lord Alfred Hayes. I wonder how much he can bench press.
Oh my word, great power there, I would imagine. Oh,
A
wow.
little slow there, though. Comes in with a shoulder. Martel quickly sidesteps him as Crush goes slamming into the turnbuckle. And Martel, one thing you must give him credit for, he knows how to take advantage of a situation.
He does indeed. He's a great front runner. And I was just complimenting Crush on his speed there, but he was a little bit too fast and a little bit too careless before. And now Martel has this belt once again going his way. Good tempo being set here by the model.
Flying Mare comes in from behind, trying to keep the big man down, goes to a reverse chin lock. Crush has such incredible strength throughout his body. His legs are massive. And I think Martel would have a very difficult time keeping him pinned to the canvas.
I'd have to agree with that. I really don't think this is the right tactic being adopted by the model here. He's not going to hurt such a huge fellow.
What should he be doing?
Kicking him in the face, I'd say.
Oh, so you're saying he should use any low tactic whatsoever? What happened to sportsmanship, Lord Alfred Hayes? What happened to winning fairly?
You've got to win. That's the name of the game.
That's it. Bottom line. No matter what you do.
Absolutely. Justify the ends, they do.
Sometimes your logic amazes me.
However, he's doing quite well here. Referee, a little bit slow there. Should have broken that hold. However, it's to Martel's advantage. Now, where's this big man? He's not getting up, Sean. Has he lost all that power?
Well, maybe he's holding it in reserve, waiting for an opening. I mean, he's not in danger of being pinned, Lord Alfred Hayes.
No, Martel will
And
take
showing
him
the
down
strength
again.
now. There's the strength in those legs. Back on his feet. Martel slammed into the turnbuckle. Nearly broke him in half. Off the second rope, right into the waiting arms of Crush. And Martel weighs in at about 250 pounds. Crush barely took one step backwards.
He certainly didn't. And here's the power of those incredible arms being applied with all its force to the model, and the model is wilting.
Squeezing away, and Martel, a desperation move that works. Goes for the eyes.
Certainly one way of coming out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you had a little bit of a smile there. Double axe handle across the back.
They only seem to be raising the ire in this fellow. They're certainly making him angry, although he's beginning to suffer a little bit from the now. He's got to turn around and face the model.
There's a reverse. Martel into the ropes. Slammed down hard with a backbreaker. And you saw the look of amazement on Martel's face as he delivered those double axe handles to the kidney area of Crush. I'm sure that in other matchups, that would have disabled an opponent, not Crush.
Oh, nice move by the big Hawaiian. And he really is angry now. Pumping a lot of strength into that massive frame.
Signaling that he's planning to body press Martel. Look at this. Way up, and then just throws Martel to the canvas.
As you said, he was military pressing 250 pounds there.
And Martel's had enough.
I think he has. Maybe he's right.
Oh, man.
Well, never forget that old
Now,
adage.
this surprises me, Lord Alfred Hayes. I've really never seen Martel walk away from an encounter. And very weak performance to do something like that. Let's get the official word.
Count out.
Well, what he did do there, he took a clean victory away from Crush. A and runs away, lives to fight another day. Crush, a little bit disappointed, nevertheless a great winner.
El Matador, Tito Santana has arrived. Lord Alfred Hayes, he claims during his training in Mexico to become a bullfighter, he conquered fear. I don't imagine he ever came up against a bull like this.
Well, quite honestly,
think of the courage it must take.
Yes. I was going to say, Sean, quite honestly, I don't think Santana ever had fear. And now, as in his newly found conquering of that particular fear, what else is there?
Good question. Certainly does not look to be at all fearful of the Berserker.
No, his disregarding the Berserker completely turned his back on him then. That takes a lot of courage, most assuredly.
Yes, indeed. Almost seems to take him lightly in a way, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes, that's probably a
smile on his face when he came in for his many fans. Got the cape.
That surely is a little discouraging to anybody like the Berserker, who they all run from.
Let's see if he can get the Berserker to charge.
I'm gonna tear his sticking arms off.
And I think Mr. Fuji told the Berserker not to go for it, and El Matador has discarded the cape. And this match is underway. Not only must he be careful of the many attributes of the Berserker, keep in mind Mr. Fuji is at ringside, constantly yelling orders and attempting to distract the Berserker's opponents.
You mean to say he employs devious moves, Mr. Fuji?
Do I need to remind you, Lord Alfred Hayes, what his nickname is?
What is that?
I love it.
The devious one.
Already he's beginning to psych up the Berserker there. And I must say that I'm rather surprised because Berserker is using, what could you say, a legitimate referee's hold there, a hookup, coming right into that situation from the beginning. He usually wants to come out kicking people.
It looks as though Mr. Fuji has indeed had some influence on the superstar. Right headlock. El Matador shakes free when the Berserker comes off the ropes. Huge shoulder connects. Hip toss by Tito Santana. That certainly welcomes the wild Berserker to this encounter.
And that's the first time we've ever seen the Berserker treated so easily by an opponent. That was a superb move there by El Matador. Really did that beautifully, and Berserker, I think that's shaken him up a little bit, if that's possible, Sean.
Comes in with the right. Santana trapped in the corner now. Being stretched out. Probably an inch taller now.
Yes, he could be. He's still not going to grow as tall as the Berserker, though. He's a huge man. He must be 6'8", 6'9".
This time Santana is waiting. Tries to fire back, but that's broken up. This is with a clothesline. Santana with a forearm. Berserker never saw that coming. Looking to Mr. Fuji with a helpless look on his face. Can't believe what's happening.
No! No!
I don't think Berserker's ever taken punishment like this before. It's really astounded him. And look at that. El Matador is looking very cool, very calm, also extremely collected. And now Berserker is slowing down the action here, trying a different slant.
What a move there by the Berserker. Totally duped El Matador. He came in with a headbutt to the midsection and really connected.
He's wasting time here, though, Sean. He's not following it up. Fuji is trying to get him back into action again. He certainly did a superb move there with that headbutt, but look at this, he's vulnerable. No, he's not.
Matador races in. Berserker brings up that very dangerous boot. And it was right on target.
And they're so huge, those boots, I don't think he could possibly miss with them. Now Fuji is a happier man.
Now got a hold of the ponytail, and Santana is sent over the second rope onto the floor. Keep in mind, Mr. Fuji is at ringside with that cane and may offer a little assistance to his man.
And here's another unusual twist. Berserker trying to get his man back into the ring. He usually follows them down onto the floor and really belabors them there, but apparently Berserker feels a little more safer in the ring with Matador.
Good hard shots across the chest. I'm surprised if there's any air in the lungs of Santana right now. But he fights back. Over the top of the sunset flip. Berserker holding on. He is just too huge. Broad base. Santana never stood a chance of bringing him over, Your Lordship.
Absolutely, he's a big, big man, and he's very, very powerful, but we're seeing something we've never seen before from Berserker. We're actually seeing some fine wrestling moves from him. Oh gosh! A phantom drop kick or something there. What was that, Sean?
Drop kick that was about 6 feet short. And now, Santana, I don't know if that's a wise move to stand in the center of the ring and exchange blows with such a massive individual. That's the route that Santana took.
Well, he chose that route, and it was a very foolish choice, because look at what's happened now. He did have the upper hand then when Berserker missed with that incredible short drop kick, and Santana in very, very deep trouble.
Trying to send El Matador off into dreamland, and surprised the Berserker is using this tactic. He usually enjoys destroying his opponents.
Yes, he just
not putting them to sleep.
We're seeing that he is in fact capable of some fine wrestling moves, but his defense is not very good, Sean. Look at that.
Santana breaks free. Berserker brings up a knee, though. Looked as though that Santana was loading up for that flying forearm, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yes, it was indeed.
Big smile on the face of the devious one at the moment.
Mr.
May not last.
He's happy with what he sees, Sean, obviously. Not with that, though.
Big boot. Santana comes in with a flying body tackle. Berserker waits, and now hooks a leg after slamming Santana to the canvas.
And that certainly has knocked the starch out of Matador now. A tremendous move there by Berserker, and I expect him to follow this up in a devastating fashion, which he's going to. Watch out for the big boot.
Wraps Santana up. They can't keep him there. Drops a Berserker on the top rope. And now just makes it worse, bouncing. A wild superstar up and down. Well, that took some strength out of him. Drop kick, and another. Second one's a charm. Berserker, though, can't. No way he's going to stay down.
And a tremendous resurgence of energy here by Matador has floored Berserker, and suddenly Berserker hanging on for grim life. And
he keeps getting up.
The cane from Fuji on the outside hooked Matador's ankle.
I don't think the Berserker knows that that weapon is close to being in the hands of Santana. He continues the assault. And now Santana on his feet. Reaping a little revenge. Mr. Fuji made the mistake of getting involved in this encounter. Did not turn out well for his man as El Matador Tito Santana. Certainly a moral victor in this encounter. You see him hooking the leg there, Lord Alfred Hayes, with that cane.
Very clearly. And Mr. Fuji, usually the catalyst for success for his stable, this time it swung against him, and his own man lost, and he was was responsible for that. A tremendous and brilliant performance here by El Matador.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. Coming down the aisle, weighing 330 pounds, Papa Shango.
Papa Shango, the Voodoo King, and his mysterious ways.
Yes, and look at the sort of poll that he's brought about here on this audience. These people collected here, they've come to see Papa Shango, but suddenly they're not so very sure of themselves.
What a test indeed this will be for Papa Shango as we hear the tremendous ovation here for Marty Jannetty.
They are so pleased to see this youngster back again in top fighting form. Marty Jannetty, we never ever thought we would see him again, Gorilla.
Well, he made a liar out of a lot of important people, doctors especially, who said he would never, ever again return to the squared circle after going through that plate glass window on the barbershop at the hands of his former partner, Shawn Michaels. But what recuperative powers, what a tremendous desire.
He certainly possesses that desire, you're absolutely right. I think he's a little foolhardy, though, to pick a big fellow like this to begin his comeback.
Well, he's here for one reason and one reason only, Alfred, and that's to get his hands on Shawn Michaels.
Well, in that case, he better take on fellows like Papa Shango, because if he doesn't, he's not going to be any match whatsoever for a fellow like Shawn Michaels, who is probably one of the best wrestlers there is in the WWF, if not the best.
Shawn Michaels, of course, reigning Intercontinental Champion here in the World Wrestling Federation. As an Irish whip about to be delivered. No, nice move by Marty. Had trouble getting over the top of the big guy, but turns it around nicely. You know, Marty's got to take Papa Shango down to the canvas, Alfred.
Yes, he was very, very nimble with that move. It looked as if he was going to come adrift there, but his agility certainly helped him out. He's got an arm wringer there, but that is not sufficient to beat a fellow like Shango.
Backdrop finds the mark, and a beauty by Papa Shango.
He is such a big man, Papa Shango. It's difficult to know what to do with him exactly. I wonder what Jannetty's game plan is here, Gorilla.
Survive.
Yeah, survive in the beginning, but what do you think, hit and run?
Well, I think he's going to rely on his speed, his agility, his quickness, his experience, if nothing else.
Yes. He seems to have suffered a couple of heavy blows there, and he's unable to fully protect himself at the moment. Gathering a little force from that incredible, horrible skull there.
Might have been one of your relatives, Alfred.
I'm going to tell them about that.
You know, Alfred, I know that you're very friendly with the reigning World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Ted DiBiase and Irwin R. Shyster. Don't deny it, Alfred. I know this for a fact. And I know that you talk to them on a daily basis. What do they think about the Steiners coming here to the World Wrestling Federation looking for their gold?
You want an absolutely truthful answer?
No, lie, Alfred.
No,
tell me some lies.
No, I always tell the truth. Oh. They're not very happy about that situation.
I'm sure they're not.
I think they look upon the Steiners as a very, very definite threat to them.
Well, they'll get a real education no matter how you look at it, your lordship. And right now, Marty Jannetty is getting an education at the hands of Papa Shango.
He is indeed. We did talk about his tactics. They don't seem to be paying off whatever he had in mind for Papa Shango. But Jannetty, a very resourceful man indeed. There.
Papa Shango wasted a lot of time there.
Oh, my word, it looked like a tooth came out of his head there.
Uh-oh, look at this. Shawn Michaels, what's he doing out there?
Well, a very nonchalant stroll into the ring area.
Jannetty just saw him.
And now his attention is diverted. This is a bad thing for Jannetty. Maybe a good thing for Papa Shango. Definitely something here by Shawn Michaels.
How on earth could Marty Jannetty possibly concentrate on what he's doing inside the squared circle when he knows he's got that man looking over his shoulder?
Well, that's a terrible thing for Jannetty. As I pointed out before, well, look at this.
Oh.
I thought for a moment there Jannetty was going to get out of the ring, but he stayed inside, much to his own disadvantage there. Turned his back on Shango.
And he paid for it too, as Papa Shango has taken control of this one. Jannetty ducks underneath the right hand, a drop kick finds the mark, but the big guy didn't go down. A second drop kick, and he's still on his feet. Oh, look at the pretty boy. He must be seeing himself, Alfred.
Well, they've probably got a mirror there somewhere that he's looking into. He doesn't seem to be at all perturbed by the fact that Jannetty is in there now.
Well, he's headed back towards the locker room area. Glad to see that. And look at this now. Jannetty hot on his trail. Shawn doesn't see him. Oh, look at this.
Well, why is he doing that? Why is Jannetty doing that?
Why is he doing that? The guy threw a plate glass window. What do you expect?
Well, that was a long time ago. He didn't have to attack him from behind like that, Gorilla.
Luckily, some referees and some of the officials of the WWF out there in the corner, in the runway, trying to separate these two.
And that's going to be a tough job because they absolutely hate each other. And look at Michaels, he is so furious with that situation.
I think he got just what he deserved.
Everybody here on their feet trying to see what's going on. And we're getting the privilege of watching this at close range through our cameras.
Let's go up and get the official word as to what took place in the match.
The winner of this bout, as a result of a count-out, Papa Shango!
I say, what splendid encounters we've been privy to on this wonderful tape of Grudge. Will you stop that? And I'm sure there's a lot more. Oh, gosh.
What's the name of it?
That is St. James's Palace. Royal people live there, and they don't want you sneaking views through their windows. Now then, to get back to the grudge matches that we're enjoying. What is it now?
Are you driving that old red Ford over there?
Don't say that. I'm in a Rolls Royce.
Hey, what do they call those things, you know, that they put when you park illegally, and it's a big yellow steel thing, they put it right on your tire?
It's called a boot.
Oh.
Yes, it...
Well, I think they're putting one of those boots on your Rolls right now.
Oh, they couldn't do that. They could? Hold this! I say, you unmitigated oaf!
While Alfred is attempting to get his car back, let's find out what it's like to go to work with Repo Man.
Hi, Len.
Honey, who's that?
Hey! Are you filming me? This is none of your business. What I do for a living is nobody's business. Turn that camera! Hey!
Honey!
What?
I don't need to be getting filmed like this. Just because you got a new camper, I bet you're late on the payments for that recorder, ain't you?
No,
well, I
no,
might take
wait,
that,
I
and I
just-
might take that camera, too.
No, please, it's for my baby.
Yeah, you gotta, yeah. Hey, that is a cute little kid there. Well, I'm still gonna take the camera.
No,
In fact,
please, please, I'll do anything,
I'll
please.
tell you what, you know what you can do for me? If you really want to keep that camera and that camper, why don't you spend a day with the Repo Man for Coliseum Video? I gotta do it anyways. Home videos for Coliseum Video. Will you come with me? I'll let you keep that camera.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, honey,
You're
I'll be
gonna have
back
the
soon.
greatest time of your life. Because what the Repo Man does for his business, when he wants somebody to see it, it's good. I can repossess anything. Come on, let's go.
Honey!
Bye, honey, I'll see you in a while.
Come on, you're going too slow. If you don't come with me, I ain't gonna take that camera. There ain't nothing you can
No,
do.
please, okay.
This is great. Hey, you're lucky you're here with me, you know that? Coliseum Video, you're gonna see me right in action. You see this guy right here? He's late on his payments. And you know what? I do my job during the day better than I do it at night. That's why we've been sitting right outside this building. He's on his way to work. And I'm gonna get that car. Look right here. Here he comes. It's a Cadillac! It's a Cadillac! It's a brand new. Hey, Make sure he don't see us. Stay down. He just pulled into the spot. Come on. Come on. Hey, you! Get out of here! That's my car!
What?
Give me that
Is
car.
this a carjacking?
No, you're lucky it's not a carjacking.
What
I'm
is-
a repo man. What's mine is mine, and what's your car is mine too. Get out of here!
Come on, man.
You're late on your payments.
I'm not late.
You're late on your payments. That car is mine.
Hey, buddy.
This is great.
Hey, don't take my car. Please, I'll make payments. Hey! My Hey, I'm calling the cops. That's my damn car. Who are you?
Hey, you! Get in here. You're supposed to be following me around. Don't follow him. Come on, get in here. Open up that door. Get in. See, that's how I do my job in the daytime. That guy was scared to death. Oh, wait, the cops might come. Let's get out of here. Oh, a Cadillac! Whoa, does this thing run good? Oh, they might have this thing blocked up. Oh, no. We got it. Okay, wait. Let's look to see if that guy's still down there. No, he's gone. Let's go. Now, you see? What's mine is mine, and what's everybody else's is mine. All right! Hey, shut that thing off! This is gonna be great. You see that kid right over there? His name is Alex Vargas. You know how I know his name? Because his dad owes me big, big money. He's late on the payments of his car. So that car is gonna be mine. He don't know it yet. You know, we've been waiting here 15 minutes already. I think his dad's pretty late. How can he be late with picking up his kid? I would never do that. What a jerk he is. Well, I think what I'm gonna do is, see that beautiful shiny bike over there? I think I'm gonna take that today. His dad will get the hit then, won't he? Come on, let's go watch this. Hey, you kid! Is your name Alex?
Yeah?
Oh, you know who I am? I'm the repo man. And you know what? Your dad owes me some big bucks, and he hasn't paid. And since he's late today, you tell your dad. You tell him he owes me big money. And I'm gonna take this bike from you till tomorrow. You got it? And you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Get out of here, kid. This is gonna be great. All right, come on. This is my bike. Woo! Tell your daddy owes me. Hey, are you coming or what? Get back over here. Come on. Let's go. We still got other work we gotta do. Let's get out of here. Come on. Thank his dad. He'll be, man. He'll pay me. This is gonna be great. You see this video store right here? It's gonna be mine. Watch this. Come on in here and check this out. Boy, oh boy. Look at this place. It's full of Coliseum videos. Boy, do I like Coliseum video. This whole store is gonna be mine. Wait till I talk to the owner here. Hey, you. Do you own this place?
No, I don't.
And you know what? This place is gonna be mine. You're gonna be working for me. You know why? Because the owner hasn't made a payment on this whole place in a whole week. He's late. This place is gonna be mine.
What are you talking about? We keep up with all our payments.
Oh, you don't know. According to the Repo Man's records, he's always late. And you know what? There's one way you can get off. Maybe if you play this tape right here. It's a Coliseum videotape. The Repo Man's greatest hits. If you play this, I might let the owner keep the store for a week. Can you play it? Oh, this is gonna be great. Coliseum video. This whole store. Oh, it's loaded.
Hey, I bet you're wondering what a nice guy like me is doing out here at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I'm an honest guy. I don't lie. I don't cheat anybody. Not like this guy in here. He's a liar and he's a thief. Can you believe it? He's a day late on his car payments. A day late. So you know what that means? That means that that car is mine. It's locked. You see, what's mine is mine. And what's yours is mine too. Hey, you're about to witness a crime. Yeah, this is the one. Hey, you know the lady who lives here? She's 3 days late on her car payments. 3 full days. That ain't no lady. That's a car thief. Me, I'm the repo man. You know what that means? That means what's mine is mine. And if you're late on any payment, if you're late, what's yours is mine too. Shut up! Isn't Coliseum Video great? Hey, you! Give me back that tape! What are you trying to do? Steal it from me? Nobody steals nothing from me. Thank you. Hey, wasn't that great when I took my foot? Kapowie! Went right through the window. It gives me goosebumps. And then when I steal the car, that's my highlight. Well, I'll tell you what. The repo man has a tough day a lot of times, and I think it's about time that I go home and relax a little bit. You know what? Sometimes I gotta take a break. I can't repo everything in the world, can I? Hey, you!
Yeah.
Can I check out that camera once? It looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
What kind is it? Here, let me see it once. Here, I'll give it right back. Boy, oh boy. It is nice! Take it easy, kid!
Promise to give it back.
Hey, the repo man doesn't make any promises. Hey, what's mine is mine, and what's his is mine too. Coliseum Video, wow!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dayton, Ohio. Gorilla
allow
Monsoon,
me
along
to
with his
introduce
lordship, Alfred Hayes. Look at these two beauties, Alfred.
Dr.
Yes.
Harvey Whippleman.
I think they
You
rival
don't
each other
mention
for
my
looks.
name, or I'll knock your dentures down your throat,
Uh-oh.
old man.
Sounds like a
Now
challenge
then,
to me.
It's about
he's really
time for
wild.
you people
Look at the thing.
to stand up
The look of
and
disdain on
observe
the
the
face.
man who
Kiss her
made
of the face.
Uganda famous. Being led to the ring by the great Kim Shee. Here is the Lord
Well,
of
Kamala
the
certainly hasn't lost any, shed any poundage.
No, he hasn't. But he's an amazing fellow, this chap. He has tremendous energy inside the ring. And I think he has a tremendous appetite outside of the ring.
A lot of people here in the World Wrestling Federation complaining about the treatment being given Kamala by Kim Chi and Dr. Harvey.
Well, what sort of treatment is that? I thought they looked after this fellow rather well.
Well, we don't see what goes on outside the squared circle, your lordship.
No, that's true.
But inside, they've been pushing the guy around, slapping him in the face, you know, and treating him like an animal.
Well, I haven't seen much of that, but if you say so, then I have to believe you.
Well, I certainly have.
From Norfolk, Virginia, weighing 384
And he's not an animal.
pounds.
I don't know, inside that ring he appears to be an animal
Not
to me at
exactly
times.
sure what he is, but not an animal. Well, I hope that they've reinforced the ring.
Two huge men. Typhoon, in excess of 400 pounds. And Kamala, the Ugandan giant, up around that same
Wade 2. And look at the look on Kamala's face. I don't think he's awfully happy with this piece of matchmaking that's been secured for him. This match made by, of course, those two there, the incomparable duo of Dr. Harvey Whippleman and Kim Chi.
I think you're saying to Kim Chi, this guy's bigger than I am.
Yes.
Who's his manager? What kind of groceries is he getting?
He must be getting a lot of them too. There's some of that energy. Oh my word.
Of course, it'll be anxious to see what kind of a job that Typhoon can do now that he's back in singles competition, because for so long he was involved with Earthquake as one half of the natural disasters, and interesting to see whether his timing is there.
It will be indeed. You know, coming out of, both of us can attest to this, coming out of tag team matches, you sometimes lose your continuity and your way of pacing yourself for a singles contest.
Oh, look at this, an attempt at a slam. Highly unlikely.
I can't recall ever having seen Typhoon slammed at all.
I don't believe I have either, Alfred. I've seen an awful lot of his matches.
Yes, that would have been a first in that case by Kamala. He's going to have another go.
He's really not blocking the move. He's just too heavy.
Yes, he just stood there. He planted all his weight firmly on his 2 feet, and he eased back slightly. That was enough to spoil the leverage. Maybe it's something to do with Kamala's huge tummy there, poking up.
Well, Kim Chi giving him a hard time. Why don't you try it, Kim Chi?
Wow!
Whoa, almost got the big guy up. Oh, drop kick by Typhoon. Can you believe that?
Oh, golly.
Look at this, follows him right in, but I'll tell you what, Kamala's deceiving as far as speed is concerned.
He certainly is, and I've always said this, that Kamala has some really good moves. He's a fine tactician when he chooses to be. Also, so you're facing quite a proposition there, 400 pounds of incredibly fast flesh coming at you.
That has cannibalistic tendencies.
Yes, we mustn't forget that, of course.
What a nightmare that is.
And Typhoon is beginning to feel the full force of that nightmare now. Now, surely they're satisfied with this.
Well, I should hope so. Well, that's 400 pounds plus standing right on your sternum.
And a couple of really well-aimed blows there by Kamala. And I think Typhoon is trying to decide whether he should get to his feet and try and avoid those, or just lay there and maybe hope for some oblivion or something to rescue him.
You know, I wish we were a little closer, your lordship, so I could hear what those two beauties are saying outside the ring there.
Well, Kim Chi, I don't understand. He speaks in several different languages that nobody understands, quite honestly. I don't know if they're old, ancient languages, but I know he doesn't speak Swahili.
Said he speaks 8 languages, none of which are English. Well, Kamala very pleased with himself. Big smile on that kisser. I guess he thinks he's got the big guy rocking and rolling here.
Well, it looks as if he certainly has that.
I'd like to have to pick up the dinner bill for these two guys.
Oh, my word. It will probably take about my yearly salary to pay for 1 week for these two chaps to eat.
Look, Kim Chi, he's not happy.
No, he doesn't appear to be. He's directing him to stay on top of Typhoon, which is not a bad tactic. If you give Typhoon an inch, he's going to take at least a mile.
Keeps going back, looking for instructions. Telegraphed that move a long way off. Whoa. Nice clothesline by Typhoon. Oh, look at this. Kim Chi up on the apron. He got caught. Inadvertently, Kamala nails Kim Chi. Roll up from the backside. Yes, he got him. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, Typhoon.
Boy, did things backfire here. Not only did Kamala lose the match, but Kimchi got clobbered by his own man. I don't think he hit him hard enough, Alfred.
I don't know. He knocked the tar out of him by the look of Kimchi, who's rolling around, suffering there mightily. And look at on the outside.
Actually, it was Kimchi's fault, Alfred. Had no business up on the apron.
Well, he was shouting out instructions to his man. That's the only thing I could see there. Dr. Harvey Whippleman's taken up the cause now. They're both remonstrating with Kamala. Oh, my.
Oh, look at this now. Here's what we were talking about earlier on. Pushing the big guy around, treating him inhumanely. Hit him, Kamala.
Oh, I don't think he'll do that. He knows where his bread is buttered, this big fella. Oh, look up. Well, I don't know now. That is awfully provoking.
Oh, yes. Never wake a sleeping tiger. Kamala thinks it's payback time. We haven't seen the last of this yet. We'll be back.
Wow, look at him.
Following contest is scheduled for one
This time of year, you want to stay very clear of that man right there.
hailing from Washington,
April 15th is not that far away, Lord Alfred Hayes. I hope you are getting your finances in order.
No, I never do. I'm a last-minute person like 90% of everybody else.
I know why you people support Virgil. It's because you cheat on your taxes just like he does.
Boy, that's
quite a statement.
That's scathing statement.
Yeah.
You know how some people, people love Christmas?
Yes.
Well, Erwin R. Shyster, for him, Christmas is April 15th, tax day, the deadline.
Really? Oh. He enjoys that, does he?
Virgil arrives to a roaring greeting by this crowd here in Fort Myers at the Lee Civic Center.
Sean, you're very friendly with Virgil. Do you think he cheats on his taxes?
I don't think that would even cross Virgil's mind.
All those dots.
He is as honest as he is tough, I'll say that.
Yes, he's very tough. He has a liking for dogs, they tell me.
Really?
Yes, wherever he goes, he knows people and they have dogs and
I don't think I want to know any more about that, Lord Alfred Hayes. No idea where you're going with that.
Well, he likes to get them lined up.
Yes. Heard the crowd chanting Erwin. That happens wherever he goes, and yet it still gets to him. I think it's like a childhood memory.
There's got to be something about that because he doesn't like the name Erwin. That's why he calls himself IR.
IRS?
IRS, yes.
Clothesline by Virgil. Drops Erwin. And another, and boy, is he fired up. Whew. Well, there is no safe haven here in Fort Myers. He's getting it in the ring, and he gets it when he's out.
He does indeed. I don't know whether that's a good thing for Virgil or not. There is distraction, of course, when the crowd call Erwin, which must help Virgil to a degree, but even so it gets Shyster very, very riled.
Well, I happen to think that is one of the reasons that Erwin is so tough. People probably made fun of him when he was a child, and this is how he's answered back. He built himself up, and wouldn't be surprised if that triggers something in him. When he hears people doing that. Well, maybe you're right, Lord Alfred Hayes. It could work against Virgil, but it hasn't so far.
No, it certainly hasn't. And I'm rather surprised here because Shyster is really a tremendous wrestler. He's very technical in the moves. He's very precise with his moves. And Virgil, not really known for his great wrestling ability, rather his hand speed. But look at this. At the moment, he's out wrestling IRS.
Are you expecting a big return this year, Lord Alfred Hayes?
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Let's cover the main event that is taking place.
Wow.
Hulk Hogan is going to team up with Sid Justice. Together, they will face The Undertaker and the New World Wrestling Federation champion, Ric Flair. And that is just one of the great matches.
Two devastating combinations. And I'm dying to see Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice as a team. I bet you they are really fantastic. What about the other matches? Anything else you could enlighten me with?
Well, the Macho Man Randy Savage will finally have his opportunity for revenge. He's going to meet up with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Super.
Do you happen to know if Elizabeth is going to be around to witness that encounter?
I do know that, and I do know that she's intending to be there. And I hear that there's a tag team title on the line as well.
Legion of Doom, the reigning champions. Belts on the line against the Beverly Brothers. Their first big opportunity here in the ranks.
And they have been running roughshod over all their opponents. So Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk really have a very, very tough assignment on their hands.
Virgil refuses to go into that turnbuckle. Some good blocks here as he goes after Shyster once again. Whew. Stands him up there with a stiff clothesline. Good description, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Getting stiffer than that.
Oh, Virgil was doing so well just until then. And that nice little duck out the way there by IRS might be sufficient to turn the tables here, because Shyster really has been suffering all through this match. He couldn't get the upper hand at all over Virgil, and that surprised me. But look at this. He's going to follow up his advantage. Oh, gosh. Oh.
Virgil slammed twice in the head by that attaché that IRS carries around. Must be enraged. Took a chance at opening that thing up and spreading all those.
Well, I'm surprised.
And here comes the big boss man. He's not about to stand around and see Irwin R. Shyster pound away at Virgil.
Well,
and
what's
they
that
are
got to
certainly
do with the big boss man? Why is he in there? Why?
He is the law enforcement officer of the WWF. He sees laws being broken.
But he's been chasing.
Stand there.
He's been chasing Shyster for ages. Why is he chasing him like this?
Lord Alfred Hayes, you know as well as I do that Irwin R. Shyster claims the big boss man is on the tape. There is definitely no love lost between the two superstars. Right now, the former prison guard's only concern is the welfare of his friend Virgil.
Isn't all that we can do. Behold the great Blake Beverly, a gift from me to you.
Thank you.
I'd like to give you a gift.
Put the wagons in a circle. Here comes Tonto.
Weighing in at 260
Tremendous ovation for the undefeated Native American, Tatanka. Look at that. Bo wasn't paying attention, and he got clotheslined.
That's called a sucker punch is what happened. Gave him a cheap shot.
He didn't belong out there in the first place.
Well, let's see what Tatanka's made of.
Wow, beautiful hip lock. Scoops him up. Slams Blake with no trouble whatsoever. Couple of reverse knife edges. And look at this. 360. And Blake is out of there. What do you think, Brain, is going through the minds of the Beverlys now that the Nasty Boys are in and the Bushwhackers are out?
Well, I don't think they like it, and I'll tell you why. A match like this at Survivor Series you take very serious, and you want to know who your opponent's going to be. They are prepared to wrestle the Natural Disasters and the Bushwhackers. Now that the Bushwhackers stepped aside to let the Nasties in, imagine this team, the Nasty Boys and the Natural Disasters against the Beverly Brothers and Money Inc. I don't think anybody's going to like this change.
Well, I know Money Inc.'s not going to be happy. They know what the Nasty Boys can do. They saw it firsthand.
Well, you see, do you think the Natural Disasters and the Nasties are going to go out there and just wrestle? No. They want to take Money Inc. apart, and if the Beverlys get in the way, tough.
Well, look at this now. Referee's going to make him turn him loose here. He does. And it comes down face first.
Tatanka has cheated since the bell, even before the bell rang. Are we cheating on the way here?
Why don't you be serious? Obviously, you're very upset, Brain. You're upset about the Nasty Boys now becoming partners with the Natural Disasters. You're upset that Ric Flair is ill. You're upset about a lot of things.
No, I'm not upset about anything, really. It's just that all these changes, I just can't, with the way everybody, well.
Oh, you need help, Brain. You're in deep trouble here. I think you need some psychiatric care or a vacation or something.
I mean, what gets me upset is everybody gets away with what they want to get away with.
Great Blake Beverly, get away from me with that thing. I can't stand it.
No one can stand you either, genius.
Everybody seems to get away with what they want to get away with, but then everybody comes down on Perfect and Flair and I. That's what's not fair to me.
Well, I've always been fair to Flair.
You've never been fair to Flair.
Sorry. Tatanka now struggling to get out of this. Reverse chin lock. He's to his feet and elbow. Finds the mark. And another one.
I hope Martel's watching this match. Woo! Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He woke a sleeping giant.
Tommy Tomahawk's mad now.
That's the way you deliver that reverse knife edge. Nice reversal there by Blake. Beautiful power slam caught him.
You're going to see Tatanka defeated for the first time right here. Get a look at this, Monsoon.
Very possible. Tatanka in deep trouble here. Whoa! Blake obviously telegraphing that move. This youngster's got a lot of ring savvy. He's not going to pull anything over his eyes.
It's nice of you to say that about Blake.
Talking about Tatanka.
Uh-oh.
On the warpath now. Sends him in for the ride. Big backdrop. What a beauty. Clothesline and a 360.
Did he catch him?
Uh-oh. The war dance by Tatanka. Tomahawk jump between the eyes.
I'm not sure Blake knows where he's at. Going upstairs.
Tatanka to the outside, all the way up.
Where's Ball? Where's the genius?
To the top turnbuckle.
We need some troops.
Are you insinuating that we need some outside interference? Please. Uh-oh.
Grab him, genius. Do something.
Forget about it.
No.
It's over.
He got him. That's impressive. I didn't think he could do it.
Here is your winner.
Still undefeated.
The Native American remains undefeated here in the World Wrestling Federation. What an athlete.
The following contest.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Landover, Maryland for this exclusive title match for Coliseum Home Video. I'm Gorilla Monsoon, along with his lordship Alfred Hayes, as we do the ominous tolling of the bell.
Yes.
Weighing in at 328 pounds, on hailing from Death Valley.
Just look at this fellow coming in now. Is there anything quite as ominous as that?
See, he has embalming fluid running through his veins, Alfred.
I think he has by the look of him. And it's very icy, too. My word.
Formaldehyde, to be precise.
Yes, this fellow is absolutely the personification of ice cold, cool, calm, and absolutely collected endeavor.
Golden opportunity for him here in the shadow of the Lincoln Monument to get a chance to grab the gold.
I wonder if he goes to the Smithsonian or looks at some of those.
They're liable not to let him out. Looks like one of them old relics.
Yes.
For sure, they'd keep Paul Bear.
Yes.
Without question.
Oh, definitely, they'd keep him. Yes, he's a great embalmer. They love those things to be embalmed in there. A great preserver.
By his executive consultant, Mr. Perfect, weighing in 242 pounds, hailing from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Take a look.
Is a new World Wrestling Federation.
Reigning World Wrestling Federation champion, Tricky Ric Flair, along with his executive consultant. Tremendous wrestler in his own right, Mr.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
I tell you something, I believe that Ric Flair owes a lot of his success, in fact 99% of it, to that fellow behind him, Mr. Perfect.
And the guy who's very conspicuous by his absence, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes, absolutely. What guidance he has, Ric Flair. No wonder he's the reigning World Wrestling Federation champion. How long for, though? Look at that man just there. Getting force from that brass urn.
Draws energy from that. Obviously, one of his dear departeds is in there, Albert.
Well, I suppose you
Very
would have to.
small
Yes.
dear departed.
You would have to think along those lines, definitely. But Ric Flair, looking extremely confident, smiling. He's a handsome fellow, Ric Flair. He has tremendous energy and skills inside the ring. And that, of course, has helped him to the top of the ladder.
I'll tell you, it's not full of granola bars, I know that.
Well, I've never looked inside. Quite honestly, I've never been near the thing. And just look at this. Ric Flair smiling and giving that familiar woo noise that he does. Whooping it up, you could say.
Third man in the ring, Earl Hebner, one of the premier referees here in the World Wrestling Federation. Showing you that it is, in fact, a title match with a title at stake.
Yes, that was the symbolic gesture he made. The title is at stake. That is up in the air. Either man now can win this.
Of course, the edge of it always going to the champion.
Yes, I think so too. He's got to lose it somehow rather than win it. And
Well,
there's a lot of
it can only change hands on a pinfall or submission.
Yes.
Any other result in the match, and you know, Ric Flair could go home with the short end of the purse money, but he'll stop. Look at that.
Power in that upper body being shown there by The Undertaker.
He is being manhandled.
He is indeed. And this is an unusual... Oh, my word! A new champion here.
To the best of my knowledge, World Wrestling Federation Championship has never changed hands in Landover, Maryland.
Well, then this could be a history-making situation here. But I noticed that The Undertaker sensibly took his time. There's a lot of sanity and reason in what he's doing. He wasn't throwing caution to the winds and rushing in there. He had the upper hand, but he'd rather wait. He is a very patient fellow, exercises a lot of self-discipline inside the ring, and that's an admirable quality.
Well, he also knows, Alfred, he's got to keep an eye on Mr. Perfect.
Yes, definitely.
I'd like to see Flair stuffed into that body bag. Shipped right out of here.
Well, I don't know so much about that. This fellow is such a great wrestling asset to the World Wrestling Federation. I don't think I'd like to see that at all, quite honestly. However...
He has an attitude problem, Alfred. A superior attitude problem.
Yes, that's what he has. Oh, my word, look at this.
That will deflate your ego.
It really does. How demoralizing. You hit somebody with your best shots. I'm talking about plural, not just one, several of them, and he absolutely shows no sign of pain or of being punished at all. Ow!
Wow. Went over that top turnbuckle and down to the concrete.
And a little taunting on the outside there by Paul Bearer. And I noticed that when Undertaker was out, Mr. Perfect just refrained from poking his nose in.
Oh, look at that. Tremendous agility on the part of the big... Oh, he didn't refrain there.
No, he certainly didn't. He saw a good opportunity to get an almost defenseless Undertaker.
What a cheap shot.
And has he walloped him twice?
What is this, a handicap match?
That's really taken the mind of the Undertaker away from the task in hand, and that is, of course, defeating Flair for the championship. But he's still on his feet.
He's getting it from all sides.
My word, look at this. Undertaker still hasn't gone down, and he's taken a shellacking both inside the ring and outside. And Flair thinks he's going to finish him off now. Look at this.
Deliberate low blow there, Alfred.
Well, it looked like a low blow to me. I wasn't there quite in the right position to see that, but that's a nice move. Oh, no! Indestructible, do you think, Gorilla?
He can't believe it. Look at Flair. Look at the look on his face. Can't believe that The Undertaker took that suplex and just got up.
But Flair has other things in store. A suplex to the outside. And that's a tremendous amount of weight. Over 300 pounds to throw to the outside. Flair cannot achieve that.
Things sort of backfired there.
They certainly did, and here's the first offensive move for quite some time by The Undertaker.
Look out, Perfect again. Come on, ref, turn around. Take a look at what's going on here. Referee down. Did he hand him something, Alfred? I believe he did.
Yes, it looked awfully like that to me.
Foreign object of some kind. And he waffled The Undertaker with it.
And at last The Undertaker is down and seemingly completely out of it. Not showing any conscious signs of movement. Eyes closed, flat on his back.
Got that figure four patented leg lock on. It's a submission hold, but The Undertaker, I believe, is above that, Alfred.
Yes, he is. Look, he slapped on a cramp around the neck there. Oh! Ah! What power being shown here by The Undertaker.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Referee was about to count three, and Perfect just jerked the referee right out of it.
He did. He reached in, and this should be a disqualification.
I should hope so.
But I don't know what our referee is doing about this.
Where is he?
And once again, look at this, a double attack on the outside. And I would imagine by now that The Undertaker has been two-teamed, or
double-teamed.
Double-teamed, that's the word I'm looking for, thank you. So much so that he couldn't stand. But he's back in again. This is quite incredible. The endurance, the stamina being exhibited here by Undertaker.
Just about impervious to pain.
And certainly oblivious to punishment. Oh! Well, he still hasn't gone down.
Did you not?
And the referee unable to do anything about this except to call for the bell, which he did do immediately then.
I'm sure we've had a disqualification.
And a tombstone coming up.
Too bad he couldn't have got that earlier on, when it would have meant that the title changed hands. But now it's too late.
No, Hebner trying to tell him I did ring the bell, but it was for some other decision, and I'm not quite sure. Let's hear about that. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner as a result of a disqualification, The Undertaker.
Well, you can thank Mr. Perfect for saving his title for him.
Well, there was a blatant display of activity there that was quite illegal by Mr. Perfect. He came in with the steel chair, and that was unfortunate for his man, because not only was he disqualified, but that goes down as a loss against him.
He'll go home with a short end of the purse money, but definitely still will have the gold intact. What an exclusive title matchup. We'll be back with more.
Well, Alfred Hayes, I'm sure you would agree with me when I say that feature matchup was well worth the wait. The Undertaker battling Ric Flair.
An absolutely fantastic match. In fact, a fantastic tape. I wonder, Sean, if they're going to make more marvelous videos just like this one.
Well, Your Lordship, that may be it for WWF grudge matches, but folks, there's a lot more to come from Coliseum Video. Be sure to keep an eye out for the next release. For Lord Alfred Hayes,
Sean,
I'm Sean Mooney.
Sean, I'm
Yes.
having a problem.
What do you mean?
What am I going to do with you? I'm obligated to take you to a dinner, and here you are looking like a raggle-taggle gypsy-o. In fact, you look like a twit.
Wait a minute, I have this all taken care of. Look at that knot.
Yes, this is what I'm afraid of. Look at this tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at the length of this.
A bit long. Well,
It is much, much
I don't know
too
what we're
long.
going to do about it, Your Lordship.
Oh,
I
don't
can
worry.
tuck it in somewhere.
I do. I
something,
have
you know?
a solution to this.
What do you mean?
It is a problem I can easily
No,
solve.
no, not the scissors. No, this is one of my favorite ties, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Oh, this
Please.
is going to give me
No,
a lot of pleasure.
that's okay.
Come here, come here.
I can't believe you did that.